Welcome diecast fans, I'm Tom Spanners-Watson.
And I'm Frank Tagera Gibbs.
And welcome to the Canyon Champions Race.
All the winners so far this year have come to see who's the best of the best. First up tonight, we've got Matty Brewer. He's driving the Chevy Silverado Treasure Hunt, and he was the winner of the Truck Race Series.
Those of you that have been watching the channel this year will be very familiar with Caveman and his Corvette Z06. He won the Legends Showdown and a whole bunch of other races.
He's definitely going to be tough to beat, but don't forget Mark Ford driving the Ford GT40 Mark IV, the winner of the Racing Legends, and this thing is an absolute weapon.
There's definitely some low-slung vehicles like James Brook and his Lamborghini Veneno, winner of the Lambo Mambo. This thing was absolutely ballistic on the track, and he beat out Rubber Toe for the win.
Then, probably a bit of an oddball, we got Grandma driving her muffin food truck. She won the food truck Fracker, and we thought, why not? She's a bit of a competitor, give her a shot at it.
And then finally, Rubber Toe in his Corvette ZR1 convertible, the winner of the convertible Chaos, and again, absolutely lightning quick, and he picked up 5 out of 5 in the head-to-head.
Now, the rules for this one are pretty simple. 6 cars race for 6 laps. Finish off track, you miss your next race, and we are doing our standard special DNF. If you finish on your wheels but through Kahuna Corner, you'll get half your points.
A maximum 48 points up for grabs. Lots of racing to come. Let's head up to the top of the canyon, get this thing started. So kicking us off, we've got Matty Brewer and Rubber Toe in the front row, Caveman Grandma in the second row, then Mark Ford and James Brook in the back row. Rubber Toe jumps out to an early lead here, but here comes Matty Brewer. He's challenging hard around the outside. Rubber Toe holds him out. Rubber Toe blocking all the traffic, and it's a complete melee across the finish line.
Wow, I was not expecting all 6 cars to finish, especially when you got a battle like that up front between Rubber Toe and Matty Brewer. Rubber Toe not backing down, got in front, but it was just an absolute Donnybrook all the way to the finish line there.
Yeah, I thought Matty Brewer had Rubber Toe there, but Rubber Toe held on, just gets in front. Look at that huge big drift there from Mark Ford, and then James Brook in the back also with a big drift, but then they came down to the finish line, and look how close that is. We definitely need to see that slower to see who came in where. Caveman picks up 3rd, Mark Ford 4th, and Granny just misses out for 5th place. James Brook at the back of the field, but don't write that Veneno off yet. We know it's quick. He got it held up there behind Grandma. He'll be looking for some space in this next race.
Again, really impressed that they all finished that one.
The drivers move around and it's Rubber Toe and Grandma up front, Matty Brewer and James Brook in the second row, Caveman and Mark Ford in the back row. Grandma holding her. Oh, Grandma gets thrown off track there. Looks like James Brook threw it off track. Here goes Matty Brewer challenging Rubber Toe, and another big smash up right on the finish line there. And Grandma parked up just on the side of the track.
Now let's have another look at what happened there. So James Brook and Mark Ford closed up on Grandma, and it looks like that Veneno got underneath the back of Grandma's muffin wagon and just mercilessly threw her off track. Luckily she's still on the side of the track, so she won't miss her next race. But look at that across the finish line, another close race, but Rubber Toe picks up the win, Matty Brewer 2nd, and Caveman another 3rd place.
Rubber Toe definitely making the most of his front row starts, and he's going to need it as he moves back in the pack now. So we've got Grandma up front next to James Brook. Will Grandma be looking for some payback?
Oh mate, I wouldn't want to be James Brook right now.
Looks like Brook's feeding it some jantle so he can stay out in front. Grandma in 2nd place so far. Big drift there from James Brook, but he holds on. Grandma down for 2nd place. Oh, and a big run from Caveman to come from behind. And Matty Brewer's stalled out. Looks like he's coming for a close-up with the cameraman.
That was an absolutely incredible run there from Caveman to come out of nowhere to slip into 3rd place again. But let's have a look at up front there. So James Brook with a nice lead. And then if you keep your eye on Matty Brewer in the green truck, look at this. He ends up on his roof, slides around Kahuna Corner, and then somehow manages to flip his truck back up onto his wheels, so at least he gets half points instead of a total DNF.
Wow, I hadn't even seen him do that. I was so busy concentrating on the front there, and that Veneno with a beautiful drift, Rubber Toe with a solid drift, but Mark Ford getting into the side of him.
Well, they are the best of the best, and they're giving it everything they've got.
And then look at this run from Caveman here, finds the gap perfectly to sneak through for 3rd place.
Rubber Toe holds on to the lead, closely followed by Matty Brewer, but Caveman's super consistent there, and here comes James Brook charging up, equal to Caveman there. Mark Ford slips behind along with Grandma.
Right, we're halfway through the Champions Race. We're just going to take a very quick break. There's plenty more action to come, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
This is Ricky. Why is he so happy? Because he remembered to hit the notification bell when he subscribed to Chaos Canyon. Now he finds out whenever we post a new video. If you want to be happy like Ricky, remember to click the notification bell when you subscribe. And while you're here, why not leave us a comment and hit the like button? Chaos Canyon, making people happy since always.
Welcome back, race fans. There's been plenty of action so far, and there's plenty more to come. 3 races down, 3 to go. Who do you think's going to take it out?
At this stage, you've got to think it's between Rubber Toe, Caveman and Mark Ford, but it's still anybody's race.
So James Brook up front now with Mark Ford, Grandma and Caveman behind, Matty Brewer and Rubber Toe in the back row. Mark Ford getting out to a solid lead here. Oh, there goes James Brook, gets chucked over. He's still going somehow. Mark Ford takes the win, and James Brook comes in third place. That was insane.
Looks like some sweet muffin revenge there from Grandma. Look at this. She just plows into the back of James Brook and throws him in behind Caveman. Somehow Brook manages to keep his car on track. James Brook takes the jump in reverse. Matty Brewer tries to get around Grandma. James Brook gets his car straightened up and just stays ahead of Grandma. That was absolutely incredible bit of driving there.
I genuinely thought James was going to get flipped right off the side of the bridge there, but what a drive. And look at that move. Caveman trying to get under Mark Ford there. Almost flipped him off track as well.
Rubber Toe just in the lead now, but it's super close between Mark Ford, Caveman and Rubber Toe, and even James Brook still with the look in.
So 2 races to go, 4 drivers with a shot. We've got Caveman and Mark Ford up front, James Brook and Matty Brewer in behind. Caveman stretching his legs here into the lead. Here comes Mark Ford. Oh, big drift from Caveman. Lets Mark Ford catch right up to him, but he holds on. James Brook holds on. Grandma challenging Rubber Toe there. And what happened to Matty Brewer?
Oh no, Brewer's left up on the sidewall there. That means no points for him. Let's go back through the replay and find out what happened. So, Caveman with a beautiful drive up front. And look at that. Matty Brewer gets up on the side. Rubber Toe just drives around him and drifts through the car in the corner. Almost got caught up, but Grandma smacked him to the side of him, kept him going.
What a beautiful drive from Caveman though. Look at that drift. He's probably drifted more on this track than any other driver, not to mention picked up a lot of wins, and in fact, with that win, he moves now to the top of the table. We've got Rubber Toe and Mark Ford tied on 22, James Brook on 20.
The top 4 drivers all have a shot at this. Who's going to take it out?
Well, Caveman up front with Matty Brewer, but he's got Mark Ford right on his tail. Rubber Toe close in behind as well. Matty Brewer out with a strong lead here. Caveman trying to catch up. Brewer gets up on the sidewall, starts to spin around. Here comes Caveman and Mark Ford, Rubber Toe and James Brook all pushing hard right on the finish line. And Grandma, unfortunately, left by the channel membership sign.
And just a huge shout out to all our channel members, including Kit KM, our latest member. Matty Brewer did a good job to stay in front of Caveman here. I thought Caveman was going to bounce around him, but everybody just spinning wildly there. Rubber Toe getting right underneath Mark Ford as well.
Yeah, Grandma got left behind there a bit, but Matty Brewer absolutely fed at the channel going down there. Managed to stay just ahead of Caveman and hold on right to the finish despite all of that spinning. But Caveman and Mark Ford challenging so hard there. You got Rubber Toe pushing in behind. Mark Ford tried to go around. Caveman blocked it, and then Rubber Toe just holding off a last-minute charge from James Brook. Great effort from James Brook, but unfortunately not enough. That means Caveman takes the win. Mark Ford second, Rubber Toe third, Matty Brewer fourth, James Brook fifth, and Grandma, not surprisingly, in the food truck sixth.
Grandma did have 100-to-1 odds of winning this, but good on her for giving it a go. But congratulations, Caveman. This Corvette Z06 is an absolute legend.
Absolutely. I mean, pretty much everything Caveman has entered with this Corvette, he's won. And tonight he did it again under some very stiff competition.
And I've just been told that he's actually calling out all of the outlaws this week, so that should be interesting.
All right, thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs, and we look forward to seeing you next time.